today I have to do the brakes on this car, and I think that will pretty much wrap up whatever maintenance items need to be done. And then the last thing will be to hook up the wiring, which I don't think I'm going to do today. But first thing I want to do is go through the brake kit again, and then I have to get the wheels off and we'll start doing the brakes. This is the front rotor. Like I said, I already have these on the car now, but they're severely worn out. So they're just slotted and drilled. I do like that now they put the sticker on there that tells you which side it goes on, because the last set actually went on backwards because I did not see the sticker on the box, but now they're putting it on the rotor. I guess people complained, which is a good thing. This is a rear rotor over here. It's a little bit smaller, it's not vented, and again with the sticker, it's really cool. I do need to change out the rubbers and re-lubricate everything in the calipers, which will get done. And then unlike the, I am running the same setup also on my BMW, but I am not running the Extreme, I'm just running sort of the street pad. So I'm expecting that these will be quite a bit more grabby on the S2000, but we'll find out when we drive it. So there is a small, kit, a little clips and whatnot, the juice, and the pads. So that's it. Those are the rears, by the way. Then I have some .4 fluid, nothing too fancy. I think I got it from AutoZone. But I have this for the Honda, and then I have another bottle for the BMW. I do have to do a brake flush. I don't know if I'll be able to do it today, but this is the stuff that I'm going to use. It's a little bit higher performance. Obviously, the higher your number, the higher heat resistance it has. And then, let's see. Oh, let's talk about this. So, for every, let's say, 100 subscribers I get, up to 1,000, I'll be giving away some free swag. This is an Assault Industries 10mm keychain. Since you always lose your 10mm, it's always nice to have one on your keys. Now you can lose your 10mm and your keys. And yeah, my 100th subscriber will get one of these mailed to them. And every 100 subscribers after that till I get to 1,000, and then when I get to 1,000, I'll figure out something else even cooler to give away. But yeah, if you like what you see, obviously like and subscribe, share, all that fun stuff. But for now, let's get busy on these tires and getting these brakes changed out. Bingo. Whew. So it's debatable if you actually need these or not. It holds the rotor in place. You know, you don't want it moving around, which usually once the wheel is on, that doesn't really matter. What I would probably recommend doing is, if you're doing this job yourself, take one of these to the hardware store and find one with an Allen or a Torx, something that'll give you a little more bite. So what happens with these, obviously the Phillips is not the best for keeping the integrity of the screw head, just because of the way it's made. So I would get something that locks in place better. Now obviously you can strip an Allen and you can strip a Torx, but you get something in there with some good bite, you'll get a much better result than this crap. So just a little helpful advice. I will reuse one of these. I'm going to put some anti-seize on it to hopefully keep it from doing that again. But I have actually had cars in the past where I just completely left this off. The disc just kind of floats there when the wheel is off, but it's fine. this back here so it doesn't flop around. Pull those pads out. The pads are actually still pretty good. I would say I probably would have maybe another year on these. The problem is they just chew the rotors up so badly. Yeah, they're good on both sides. I mean, these still have life in them. So I'm hoping that the new ones are not quite this bad. But these sure do stop good. They stop great. And I did actually have the even higher performance ones before, but those were super aggressive. I had to get rid of them because they chewed up the rotors even worse, and this was the solution. These make less dust. These particular Hawk pads make less dust than the full race pads. However, they still chew up the rotors. They don't make as much noise either. The old racing pads used to make a ton of noise when you got hot, and that was kind of how you knew they were in the heat window. These are good pads though. These are, well, looking at the wear indicator, maybe not another year, maybe 6 months or so, driving it the way I drive it now, which is about once or twice a week. It's not too bad. So now I just need to take this particular piece off right here, then the rotor will pop off, we'll pop on the new one, rebuild this whole assembly here, lubricate everything, and this first side is done. And it's off, just that quick. I've done this a few times, but that was pretty quick. A few bolts, so you have two that hold the rotor on, you have two that hold the main body of the caliper on, and you have two that hold the bracket on, and that's it. These brakes are apart. Now I am going to prepare this with new hardware. And then I need to press the piston back into the caliper. You could clean these if you wanted, but I don't really care that much. I just want the brakes to work. So these calipers are actually Power Stop, sort of remanufactured calipers for this car. They actually work pretty good. The red finish, yeah, that hasn't aged quite as well, but I kind of blame some of that. Come out. I do blame some of that on the all the brake dust and whatnot. So out that comes, and that actually still looks really, really great, but I'm going to relube it. So there's your replacement part. If you don't have a pick, you probably could get away with a screwdriver. But I'm also a tool guy, so I like to have all the cool stuff. Just pop that out. These can go in the trash. Yeah, these are still very clean. little goo. Just press them in. And we'll take a little grease. Little goo. Little goo will do ya. There we go. Nice seal on that. Okay. Is it in all the way? Can't tell. Okay. Little goo on this guy. And what this does, lubricating this, or keeping it well lubricated, or even rebuilding these whenever you do a major brake service, this makes sure that you'll have smooth operation of the caliper. And these are nice. Just get all the air out. There you go. So now, go into the pads. And these should just rest in place. Nothing, if you got to fight with them, they're not going in there right. And that's that. So then you got your grease. Let's open up a couple of these pads. So you have one rear and one front. So your rear will always be with the wear indicator on the back side, and then the fronts are just a simple pad. So I'll go ahead and leave these over here. Nice brand new shiny rotor. Get some anti-seize. This stuff right here So I follow LHT Performance on YouTube. They call this space grease. So I wrote it on my bottle so I don't forget, because this stuff is silver. It gets on everything. It's super messy, so do be careful with it. But it works great while it works. The only problem with this stuff is that it is inevitable that with washes and age it will not be as effective. So you may want to periodically, when you pull the wheels off, maybe just pop this screw out, put a little bit more anti-seize on it just to make sure it stays lubricated and doesn't get stuck. That looks right. Perfect. Front, no indicator. Rear, indicator. It just fits in the little slot there. Like so. And what you'll want to do once everything is back together is just hit this with some brake cleaner, get all your finger jizz and whatnot off of the hardware. And also a little bit of this on the backs. Metal on metal contact, this helps reduce noise. So for the next part of this job, it's just a matter of compressing the piston back into the housing. And I like to use this guy right here. So just push it in like that. And get to work. I realize there are correct tools for this job, but this has worked for me for years, and I've used this same method on BMWs, Volkswagens, Hondas, Acuras. I think I did a GMC, it was a GMC or a Chevy. Most brake systems work exactly the same. Some, like the rears, require that you put a little tool in there and twist to screw the piston back in. But on the fronts, most of the time, 9 times out of 10, this is the method. You just press it back in. So now that is completely back in, nice and flat. Butter. So I'm going to leave these finger tight for a minute while I get those larger ones. Now, if you live in a climate where there's a lot of, snow, rain, things that could cause rust or cause these bolts to not want to behave, I would recommend using anti-seize just to keep things from coming loose or getting stuck and preventing you from getting them loose. I used to live on the East Coast, and snow, ice, salt, all that crap they put on the roads, it just breaking frozen bolts and whatnot. Oh, that was the worst.